Oh wait, we were recording? We were recording. Well, hello, welcome back to another blurry video of Genshin Impact. Last time, we continued Act 2 of Chapter 4 of the Archon quest. And today we're going to be continuing it. Recall last time, we were trying to figure out what truly happened at the night of, I suppose, Navia's father and him supposedly murdering somebody. And yeah, we kind of want to see what happened. We're assuming, and I think we're pretty sure that it has something to connect with the primordial water something, where the primordial water makes people disappear, and that also has something to do with the disappearance or the serial disappearance of all these young women. And yeah, we also did find out last time that, kind of Navia's father is kind of doing it to protect Navia, I don't know. So, but Navia wants to kind of figure it out, which I think kind of everyone's willing to help, including us. And it's another one of these challenges in which we have to figure out something.
Who would have imagined that people could really turn into water?
We have investigative time on. And then yeah, we're just trying to talk to people to get evidence and figure out how it works. But yeah, let's go ahead and start. Let's start right here. We have to talk to Florent, who's somebody that Navia knows very well.
How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House. Someone got turned into water right in front of us.
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth. And it'll be all the talk for the next several weeks.
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, it was raining outside, and we found some clothes left at the scene. After my partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should try to reopen his case. Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Let me think. Mr. Callus was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So he was drinking and bantering away with us at the table. After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. Who knew that we would hear 2 gunshots ring out right after? My first reaction was that Mr. Callus's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash toward the scene. But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callus was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands. All we could do was look back and forth at each other, not knowing what to say.
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Indeed. The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques. But I've never really bought that explanation. Reason being, Mr. Callus had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene. But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned, do you think there was a third person there who was turned into water?
Very possible indeed.
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him. The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a third person on the scene.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Callus ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the other guys? But hold on. If that's what had happened, then why didn't he share the truth with any of us? He didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine, and chose instead to prove his honor in a duel. Did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
About that, Malus told me a thing or two. So, I think I can understand why he committed to the duel. I'll tell you everything, once the whole truth has been revealed.
I understand. Then, I'll leave Mr. Callus's honor in your hands, boss. And if I may just say one more thing. The whole Callus the Unfaithful epithet has been a thorn in my side since the day it was invented. Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callus, even after so many years have passed. But it was Mr. Callus's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula and live the life I lead today. No matter what others might say, he'll always be the man I respect the most. And he'll always be my boss.
Don't worry. I will definitely find the truth. You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well.
Information regarding Florent. Florent, the advisor of the Spina de Rosula, claimed that he was very grateful to Callus for his kindness. He was also present at the banquet of the day of the case and could provide evidence that Callus did not carry the gun with him when he went out.
My apologies, boss, for that last sentimental bit. It's just, many years have passed while I've held my tongue. It's not often that I get to share my true feelings with others.
Indeed. So there were 2 gunshots, which is quite interesting. And then also there was, it seems like Florent says, the gun that was on the scene wasn't, Mr. Callus's gun. Last episode I did mention how I thought that it was not Mr. Callus or Jacques that shot the gun and killed Jacques. However, honestly, it still might be possible that Mr. Callus did indeed shoot Jacques. Who knows? That it could be there. I don't think he had any intentions to, if he did. But again, circumstance unknown, so maybe he did. Also, I don't think Florent, we had, what's his name? Malus, I think it was Malus, one of Navia's like bodyguards or people who go with her all the time. He kind of mentioned how there was like a spy among these 3 people that we're going to talk to. Florent being one of them. From our talk with Florent, he didn't exactly seem to be a bad guy, but potentially, again, there's an imposter among us. Potentially, he is the informant, the bad guy, basically telling the bad people the information of everything. So there's a potential that he could have twisted the story a little bit. So I think whoever the imposter is out of these 3 next people, Florent being one of them, there's a chance that their story, it doesn't add up. And so I think we need to be cognizant of which person's story doesn't seem to be adding up. But his story seems pretty good. So we'll go on to Thierry here.
Hey, Thierry, it's me.
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia? I've heard that you made quite the name for yourself at the Opera House.
Oh, so you've got news of that already.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the Guards, you know. The way you make it sound, people would think I was sent off to Poisson because I had done something wrong.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal circumstances, shouldn't you have been called back to the city already?
I mean, where I work is really up to me. Let's just say I enjoy the ambiance of Poisson. Callus did a fantastic job running the town, building Spina di Rosula from the ground up and clearing many obstructions in my way. It would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but high-paying job in the city. Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these 2 friends of yours? You, here for some formal business?
Yes. These 2 are my partners. What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Linny's case and my father's may be related. We're trying to reinvestigate the details of my father's old case.
Ah, I get it. You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be dissolved into water, right? I was also flabbergasted when I first heard of it. If you want to go through the original files from your father's case, I can help you look for them.
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I have another question. Do you have the authority to dispatch Gardamex?
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own. Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence for your father's case.
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of unnumbered Gardamex in the city. So, If you, hypothetically, wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do is get rid of the mecha serial numbers and send them after me.
Then you think too highly of my abilities. Dispatching mecha is very different from controlling them. If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage your shoulders or carry your baggage. If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same goes for me and my Gardamex. Removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to it, and it's almost impossible to keep it a secret. So I can promise you, those mecha were definitely private units. They're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both. Now that you mention it, though, being in the synth business would definitely be profitable enough to afford this.
Makes sense.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, thank you for the vote of confidence, Navia. Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your investigation. I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so just come find me if you need any support from the guards.
Information regarding Thierry. Thierry is a person responsible for the official contact between Speed the Revealer and the guards. According to him, only the sufficiently rich can privately own large numbers of Gardamex. Interesting. Just, Navia did say that he is clear, but is he really clear? Sure, he might not own the Gardamex, but he can tell somebody else, right? He can tell somebody else, like another bad guy or another person in a higher power to do it, to send the Gardamex. And if anyone can do it, he has the closest connections because he's part of the guards, right? And so he might know someone with a lot of Gardamex. So I want to say he's in the clear, but he did give us some information that, yeah, there's definitely someone pulling the strings here. But I mean, that was kind of obvious though, wasn't it?
I'll see what I can do for you and Spina di Rasula when it comes to guard stuff, but don't go advertising it to everyone else.
Again, I think he's still sus. I mean, all of them are sus, but he's definitely, I think he's more susser than the last guy, but who knows? Again, I'm pretty bad when it comes to reading this stuff, apparently, so we can't really say that. Anyways, down to our last person, we have to talk to Marcel. It's down here somewhere if we look on our mini-map. Let's go to him. Oh, he's really down. Down here? This is where the sewers are? Higher, he's higher. I went too far. There he is. Oh, there she is, okay.
Hello, how may I help you?
Oh, I
I'm
guess
here
it's
to
not
see
him, but-
Marcel. Could you please let him know? You can just say Navia's looking for him.
Sure, I will let him know right away.
Ah, Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House. I'm sure you saw everything too, right?
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Oh, you were at the Opera House too?
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery? I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive. To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
Apologies. It's just how
Lag.
Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes, I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're investigating now?
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side has already begun to act.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea. If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit. Wasn't it you who protected us?
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing of the past. But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you. If you're scared, you can always return there. If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabrières will use its funds to the last Mora to bring them to justice.
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But I don't intend to go into hiding. I'm going to strike while the iron's hot. Do you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
About that. Sorry, my age is catching up with me, so it'll take me a while to recall my memory. The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I was out and about the whole time making sure things were running smoothly. I didn't even have the time to drink with the guests. Then I heard the sound of a gunshot, and the rest was history.
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself. We'll ask around some more, see if there are any valuable clues elsewhere.
Sounds good. Just let me know if you ever need Mora.
I can use some Mora.
All my wealth comes from Callus's patronage and support. I'll spend however much it takes to clear his name.
Information regarding Marcel. Marcel is the leader of the Confrérie de Carbonet. Organization of the banquet years prior. The Confrérie of the Inspira de Ruzula have always maintained a close working relationship. But his recollection of the events of the case is quite foggy. He's willing to defend Navia.
Alas, why do these kinds of things happen to the kindest people?
Okay. Interesting. Well, I mean, what information did he even have for us? Not anything too useful, I don't think, unless I'm missing something. Yeah, I don't think he really gave us anything useful. So I think the game wants us. What the heck? I think the game wants us to think he's sus.
We've talked to all three suspects, purely based on their conversations with me.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
Yeah, I was gonna say, all of them not exactly suspicious, but we don't know for sure. And we know at least one of them is, unfortunately. So I think the game wants us to lean to Marcel, but it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. I would lean to the second guy. I would lean to the second guy. But who knows? It could be Marcel, it could be the first guy, whoever his name is.
I suppose that's to be expected, though. If a single conversation's all that's needed to find them out, then my father wouldn't have needed to investigate the case for so many years. Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to find.
But where should we start?
Jacques' motive.
You're right! Flora mentioned that Callus probably only ended up with the gun because of circumstance. That makes sense.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered, and that he had no choice before he left home that day. If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father. Had he refused, he and his family's lives would have been forfeit.
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Perhaps. If I was Jacques, I wouldn't have fired a shot at all.
Oh? And why is that?
Can he guarantee his safety after killing Callus? Can he guarantee his family's safety after killing Callus? Surely Jacques cared more about his family, right?
Ooh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool for murder. And once he had completed his mission, he'd be of no more use to his boss.
Huh. So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the Order and seek protection from my father.
Yeah, makes sense. Seek protection. Mr. Kyle's really that strong? To protect Jacques, perhaps? See, the third person was the one who derailed everything.
Makes sense. But without evidence, that's still just a theory.
It's not a theory, it's a hypothesis, Navia. Get your words correct.
Besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit as well. It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the end?
Given everything that's happened since, it's quite possible. But who among the three suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex?
I don't think it's Thierry. I think they want us to say him. Oh wait, no, wait. I want us to think it's him, but I don't think that he has the ability to control privately owned. But I think someone else that Thierry might be accompanied with can. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Florent can really, to be honest. And I think Marcel might be able to. So I'm gonna say Marcel, even though I think Thierry might be the answer that the game is looking for. I want to lean towards Marcel here. Let's see.
Uncle Marcel? My father did really trust him. And they worked together on a large number of projects. Maybe that's how he got to know Jacques.
What does that have anything to do with robots?
funds from the Confrérie, he could also afford a large number of gardeners.
Yes, indeed.
It's still really hard for me to imagine, though. After all, Uncle Marcel has been around since I was just a child. Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of mora and energy to fight his own synth business?
Maybe it was someone else. Well, I thought at this point you might as well get all the text out of Navia. I don't think it's Florent, but I think we'll say Florent so that Navia can talk, so that we get the voice acting.
Florent? It is true that he was closest to my father, and thus had the best chance of learning about his dealings with Jacques. But as Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work mostly deals with personnel and security, so he shouldn't have much means when it comes to finances.
So you're saying he's too broke to afford a mecha army?
Wow.
Exactly. He can't.
Exactly, he's poor.
And even if he could, I don't think he would be able to dispatch a whole group so quickly.
Well, there you go. I did this all so that you guys can hear Navia's voice acting. There you go. You guys can thank me later. I told you the game wanted me to put Thierry as the answer. I knew it.
Thierry, you say? Huh. It is possible that he's figured out a way to convert the Gardamex for personal use. But I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the mecha. I also don't think he'd be able to keep that
maybe the game wanted us to
under
talk
wraps.
to.
Yeah. Had he actually tampered with the mecha, we'd be able to prove it with a simple check of the guard's inventory. If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out when and how that happened.
Who could it be?
Oh, okay. Then maybe in the end, it doesn't matter. Maybe in the end, we would have heard all three of them anyways. Or all three text options. I think... Again, I'm thinking... Is someone connected with Thierry? But let's see. Irrelevant. So we have to select one of them. Let's select one of them. Okay, real talk though, I do think it is Thierry connected. I don't think it's him himself, but I think it's connected to him. That's the best chance. I did think it was Marcel, but Yeah, Navi is saying, would it make sense that he's fighting the synth, but also helping the synth at the same time? It would be a bit weird. But I don't know. Oh, I do think it's Marcel. Should I just go with my gut instinct and say it's Marcel, even though I think it has some? I don't know. I think it's both of these guys. All right, all right, all right. I have a thing. All right. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by the toe. If he hollers, let him go. This is the person that I will choose. Darn it. Ah, you
You know, if you think
Eeny, meeny,
everything
miny, mo.
through, Uncle Marcel is indeed the most suspicious of them all.
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these three, did he?
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair and well considered. When he laid out his case for the three, the rationale he gave me made a lot of sense as well. The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means to dispatch Mecha to assassinate us, and possesses significant intellect and foresight. Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
Why should not be Marcel? He's someone very close to you after all.
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
The synth production base.
Yes, Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky, but we don't have any other options right now. We need far more solid proof before we can hope to go charging in on our enemy.
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the guards? Did something happen?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got another trial on our hands.
Oh, for it.
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials? What's so newsworthy about this one?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
That's a child.
What? Is that someone you know?
Yeah, we know him. Maybe even a little too well.
Well, he's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. It's absurd, don't you think?
Wait, how? None of our investigations have had anything to do with him.
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news right away. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned investigations.
Right, because they'll think they've already found the culprit.
Yeah, and it'll be a lot harder then to clear Mr. Callus's name.
I understand. Well, partner, what do you think we should do? We still haven't found any conclusive evidence.
All right, I'm gonna let the stop here. All right, child, come on. Are they just being prejudiced towards Fatui people? Feels like this. I feels like the people of Fontaine just don't like Fatui people, which makes sense. But like, come on, you can't always just blame them for bad stuff when bad stuff happens. Also, child, are we gonna have to prove child's innocence? What if we just let him rot in jail? I mean, not the best thing to do, but wouldn't that be most productive in our journey in helping stop the Fatui from doing whatever they want to do? I know I just said that's not good to discriminate against Fatui people. However, child, if we stop him, sure their plans will be hit a little bit. So maybe we should just leave him. Maybe we should just... And who knows, maybe he is responsible for the serial disappearance of people. Who knows, it could be him. Probably not, but... Let's split up.
Huh? Split up? What do you mean?
You can go to Irenaeus while I go investigate the place.
Just as expected of my partner. Since this is a trial about the serial disappearances case, the culprit's attention will be focused on Irenaeus, leaving his home base wide open.
But I know the culprit's
You're
a he.
right. This is our best opportunity. All right then, let's do this. I'll stall them at the Opera House and charge Marcel as the true culprit. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to you to make it back in time and hand the decisive evidence to me.
Alright, so she's gonna stall and blame Marcel, which kind of rude, but like, yeah, I mean,
We'll help you.
guess I'm very
just like
responsible.
You helped us in Lenny's trial.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malou, Silver. When did you two get here?
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured that you might require our assistance. It's our hope that your confidence will be bolstered with the two of us by your side.
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste for Arrhenius. Paimon, Traveler, I'll see you at the Opera House.
Right. Irenaeus is the opera house that we just went to. They had, I guess, trials on trial. Combine the information regarding the Garden Mechs and investigated so far, it has been concluded that there's only one person who can have a large number of Garden Mechs in his possession and run the Synth business without running traces. The person is none other than Marcel. What if it's not Marcel? What if it's Malus or Silver? Oh my. I mean, again, it could be anybody. Could be anybody. The game also thinks it's Malus.
For Arrhenius, we should also get going.
Okay, go to the place.
Location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over.
Go to the place that Malus mentioned. We still have a bit of time left in this video. We're over 30 minutes in, but we still have a little bit of time. Your investigators did not bear much fruit, but the news of it has been held up for the first try at Opera House. You and Navia must split up to do best to uncover the truth. We got a little bit of... What is that item called? That's not what I wanted. What is that item called? That's not what I wanted. What is that item called? Serum? Memory of running steam. Stream. Running stream. Okay. Well, let's go investigate. It's under...
According to Malus's info, the synth production base is underwater. Let's go and try to find the entrance.
Interesting. Left control. Interesting. Hopefully, everything looks good underwater here. Alright. I'm not even paying attention. Okay. We're going down here. I forgot how to suck up the enemies.
Finally found it. Huh. So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production base. It sure doesn't seem out of the ordinary at all.
Well, they don't want it to stand out.
Ah, you're right. An important place like this is bound to have a ton of protective measures and mechanisms. Navia's probably arguing up a storm right now to stall for us.
Meanwhile, inside the Opera Epiclese.